Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at Boss Fight Studios, the Saurozoic Warriors Range Brakhion. This one right here, Saurozoic Warriors. That's the regular release. And then the BBTS, the Big Bad Toy Story, Night Force Range Brakhion. Same figure, same weapons, but not as vibrant. I like them both. Haven't even felt them, touched them. Damn, did that come off wrong. But it's staying in here. Listen, I don't know why I need dinosaurs that have guns and knives and axes and different things like that, but I needed them. So now we're going to review them. We're going to see if these things are worth it. Now, I only have one Boss Fight Studio figure, and that is a 4-inch Zorro, and I like it. Nice detail. I've heard really good stuff about Boss Fight Studios. I obviously know who they are, but I've heard really good things from them. We're going to find out how good this figure is, and its counterpart, which is the same one, this one. So this would be the pre-paint, and that would be the repaint. Anyway, I have all of them. We're going to get to them as each day progresses. But let's do these ones together. I want to do the BBTS first because it's black, but then I like the vibrant colors, and I'm just like, you know what, let's just do them together because it's the same figure. Then we compare the colors and see what you like, and let's go from there. So anyway, looking at the packaging here, it's kind of big, considering the figure doesn't seem to have to sit that far back. They probably could have saved a little bit of space. But hey, that's what they gave us. So you can see the whole figure there, all the weapons that he comes with. And let's see here, the Range Brakhion. So on the back it says, on the surface, Range Brakhion is your normal gun for hire. In truth, he's a spy for his tribe, the sauropods, hunting Triax skeever under the guise of a paid guest. His true goal is to find Triax and steal the materials for his people. With hopes of leading his people someday after this huge victory, Range searches the land for Triax. Armed with the upcoming battle with a poison-tipped knife, rocket axe, that's interesting, blaster rifle, and armor. So, I guess this is one of the bad guys. Listen, I don't know. I don't know who's bad. I don't know who's good. I know they look really cool. Got the QR code right there. So anyway, and there's the artwork on the side. I think that looks pretty cool. Kind of kiddish, but it's kind of like a comic book. So anyway, I talked too long. If you like the content, if you like this, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I do drop a Saurozoic Warrior. Listen, I got that name down. I don't know about the rest of the stuff, but let's look at these and see what we think. All right, so let's just get started here. I guess maybe I should have done them separately. A couple things I did not realize. I wasn't looking. So it is the same character, but they actually do different artwork, unlike most other companies where they would just kind of redo the same, you just redeco the exact same picture. Here he is firing his blaster. Here he is holding the blaster. So there are two different shots, which I think is really cool. And also, the bio on the back is completely different. So here we have this one, and this one here is way longer. And it says the Range Brakhion has found his prey. The traitor Triax skeever has foolishly headed into the Nightlands at the mercy of the fierce animals that call it home. Triax will die there. Every Saurian who has tried to cross it has died in the attempt, or so Range thought. A shaman of the tribe that lives on the border explained that the creatures fear the dead and would avoid the bodies of those who had passed on. Tribal members wearing body paint that gave them the appearance of death have made short journeys here and returned to tell the tale. So that's pretty interesting. I'm assuming that's why he is this Night Force color. Eager to chase Triax down the recovery, the stolen technology range, and the shaman paint him appropriately. Range steps into the Nightlands with the shiver will he be one of the lucky ones to survive the experience? So this is Tri-X. This is obviously, I believe, the leader. I believe he's the one that's also getting a paint deco like this. But I like that it gives a story. It's not just like they're spies. So let's get rid of this. I will show you this. I do like the plastic. Now, I won't be going over this on the next ones, but so what they did here, again, a lot of plastic. And these ones have really big necks, right? So their necks stick out, right? So what they did here is they kept the weapons in here. And this just opens up, but they left this open here so the figure doesn't get distorted if you're an in-box collector. And while you're an in-box collector, toys are fun. Anyway, let's take a look at what you really came for, and that is these figures. And just see if we can stand them fairly easily. All right, so there you go. They tend to stand. So let's just grab them. Let's go through the articulation because I do not know it. So you get the head that's going to twist a little bit. Now let's raise this since his head is kind of tall here. So his head twists up and down. It moves back and forth. The neck pivots. So even though he has this neck that it doesn't bend up here or anything, it has some good range of motion. We got our wonderful T-pose that everyone knows that I love to talk about. Nice and smooth. You get single joints. Now their arms are not nearly as big, so you get a nice 90 degree. Just single joints, no pins. So it actually looks really nice. You get more of a range of motion than, let's say, the Masters of the Universe, which we will compare the height to. The hand swivel, back and forth. I am not sure. I'm sure they come out. So they come off really easy. That is a small peg, but the plastic feels really nice. I like this color. You better believe I'm going to put some Night Force figures with this. Knees are about 90 degrees. Maybe a little bit more than a Motu figure. You have your ankle rockers. Again, nothing needed to be heated up. They move back and forth. Nice Jean-Claude Van Damme. And we'll quickly take a look at the paint on this figure, and that face looks really sweet. So he is painted all black and white, and he's supposed to look like he's the dead. So I guess this, you would think this is like the bones of him, and this is obviously the what would be in the background, the voidness, I guess you could say. Looking at his, I don't know what you call this, but here's his belt that goes across. I don't see any paint that's dripping on it, so the green's there. You have this nice dark blue, and then you have the black that runs around it. On his sheath here, it's got a little bit of green, the blue, so not a lot of paint apps. Looks like really 4 paint apps altogether maybe, but it all looks good. Got some nice little bushiness around his boots. He's got some little gauntlets. This one here looks like some sort of skull. Maybe we can see it better on this. Yeah, you can kind of see it better on this one. All right. So that's pretty much all that is on this figure. Oh, I guess you have the pauldron that goes on the side. So I think that all looks really nice. Let's take a look at the gun here. So I would assume this is a clip, right? Because it's not a magazine, it's a clip. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but these are dinosaurs. I can do whatever I want. So it looks like they put a hole here, so if you want to put a string on it, you can have them actually hold it. Not sure if it goes somewhere else. Oh, so that there is so you can put his axe on it. His flying axe is what it said. So you got some paint apps on the tips here. No port for blast effects, but it looks pretty cool. It kind of gives you that Recondo looking feel. The way that's kind of wrapped up here. How well does it fit in his hand? It's a little loose because his hands are kind of big, so I think you might have to heat it and crush the hands. Not crush it, but bring them in a little bit. But can we do it crossed? I don't think we can do it across his body. Maybe a little bit. And I guess you can kind of hold it like this. You got to do some work with that, unfortunately. I wish the hand obviously seemed a little bit bigger. He's got his knife. It's got the silver paint app right there. If he wants to punch someone, it's got some spikes. So it reminds me a lot of the barbecue. Ooh, that's kind of sharp, but not too sharp. Kind of like the barbecue axe that he comes with for classified. I forgot to look. It is pretty straight. How's the gun? It's pretty straight. Maybe a little bend there. Not too bad, but maybe it was how I pulled that thing out. That's what she said. Here's the axe, since that looks nice and straight. It's got this big old blade on it here. Nice and silver. It's got another skull on the top. Now, does this thing... Well, I think this thing is supposed to shoot. Like they're going to say it's going to shoot off because this looks like it's some sort of rocket. So I guess he would be able to drop it and shoot it. It's got a little bit of detail on the back here. All in all, it looks pretty nice. So let's see if we can get this in his... So they pretty much have the same articulation as a Masters of the Universe. The body moves around. There's no ab crunch or anything like that. Grab this knife that we just lost. The knife can cross up over here. So, I would say he can probably... So he can carry this with both hands. I think that's pretty cool. And it looks like... Here's the back of it. We can pop this on the back if we want. So he can carry all of his weapons on his person. Now, this axe is pretty heavy. Kind of makes him fall backwards. So I'm not sure if this was designed all the best, unfortunately. But you got to point out all the things. I think the figures look pretty nice so far. And we've only looked at just this one. This is very pliable. Yeah, the axe is real heavy. It makes him lean back, so you're going to have to play with that a little bit. And then when you get the gun in his hand, again, another thing that you're going to have to definitely play with because of how loose it actually is to hold the other weapons. But all in all, it looks pretty sweet. So let's take the regular release. Now, this is where I got to say, like, as much as I like the black and white version of this guy, this just really stands out. And this is going to stand out on your shelf for sure. Ooh, look at that. Oh, didn't even see that. So look at that. The jaw articulates a little bit. So we kind of have the Bronx action here where his jaw articulates. But let's look at this guy here. I like the way this looks. I love the blue and I love the pink. It wraps around the nose. He got some nice looking teeth. And then the inside of it, it looks really nice. Like its paint all looks good. The eyes look nice. I love the blend of this purple. Get this purple underneath to go with the blue plastic. This pink just kind of pops on him, and then you have this, I believe this is like an orange. So you have a sheath up here. I like that this is kind of just a plain beige in the brown. I feel like you could do something else to make it pop, but there's so much popping on this figure. It's hard to complain. And then here, so I guess this is the bone color. So this is the color of the bone, considering that's some sort of skull. And this is some sort of bone wrap. Now looking at this guy, you can see more of the detail. So you can kind of see the scales through him. I don't want to say scales, the texture of his actual skin. I think this thing just really pops in my opinion. He's got the boot, the paint that runs across here. Again, I like the way this looks. Oh, I apologize for that. But looking at this here, like this is where, like, if this one kind of has some black on it, the paint rub, you wouldn't be able to notice. But this one here, you would definitely be able to notice. And I don't see any paint rub on either side. But the texture of the boot is absolutely wonderful. No issues moving them. Nice and smooth. I love the articulated jaw. Look at that. Move up and down. You have the back piece. Oh, so here you can kind of see the detail in it. So it's actually wrapped to hold it together. I like this. Just really, really, really nice figure. So you kind of compare the two. And I was really excited for this Night Ops one. Sorry, I keep saying Night Ops, but I'm a G.I. Joe guy. But man, these, just the color of these just pop. So quickly, let's bring over Skeletor. Now, if you were to pop his head off, you'd see like they're pretty much the same size. So just looking at the shoulders, these figures are going to work perfectly if you want to mix and match with your Masters of the Universe, which I think might be a good idea considering I'm not really sure where to have this, and I thought this Dragon Blast Skeletor would actually be perfect for these guys. But maybe you get some of the Snake Men to go up against these guys. Again, your lore, your headcanon, you do what you want. So, we'll move Skeletor over here. So looking at this one here, I can see way more detail. I mean, the detail on that looks really nice. And then you can see, you know, the skull that's wrapped pretty much, it's wrapped holding this on, which I think is really cool. When you look at that detail, but this is supposed to be some sort of like, I would say pterodactyl or something like that. It's holding it down. It's wrapped around it. You can obviously see, you know, where he's, you know, hit things. And then just the wraps really pop out way more on this pink version. And again, still the blast. Only 2 little paint apps that go on this. No big deal. So here's the knife. No damage to this. It is nice and straight. Just pink, silver. That's nice and straight. And let's take a look at the gun. The gun looks like it has a slight turn to it. Slight bend, nothing major. Again, I know it would have been nice if they painted these tips silver. But all in all, it looks really nice. And you can kind of see the wrap here. It's supposed to have a bipod on it. It does not come down. That would have been really cool. Again, the hole here. It does have your scope on it. So all in all, I like these figures. I am just really ecstatic with them. This one went a little long because it's 2 figures and it's me. But there you go. There's your Saurozoic Warriors. Look at the paint. This is pink down here on this orangish pink with the bone color. And then you got your brown. And there's no rub at all. It's just nothing rubbing off it, nothing overlapping. Really impressed, Boss Fight Studios. Really, really impressed. Let's wrap this up. All right, so there you go. That's the first look at the Saurozoic Warriors. This is, once again, Range Brakhion. So here is this one. Here is the BBTS exclusive. As you can see, they're about the same size as the Motu figure. Actually, they're the exact same size as the Motu figure. I'm be interested once I get the other ones out that don't have, you know, the long necks to see exactly how they fit. Now, they do have big feet. I did forget they don't have any type of hole for pegs, which is perfectly fine. I don't like stands. I believe I've addressed that before. But the big feet, like if you can't figure out how to stand them, and not to mention, even if you had stands, they'd fall over if you don't have it in the right position, especially this big hulking head. And it is sturdy, like it is not going to bend. So I don't know, I wanted to get these. I'm happy with them. I like that they fit Motu, the Motu size, so I can fit them in with that when I redo that display. And to be honest, they fit with a Masters of the Universe, just looking at the color and everything. So, but I'm going to get out of here. If you like them, you know what? You can pick them up. BBTS, Entertainment Earth. I will drop a link to Entertainment Earth in the bio if you are interested. I do believe they're carrying these. I got these from BBTS. They seem to get things a little bit quicker, but if you're not in a rush and you want to support the channel, Entertainment Earth, that's the place to go. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Before I do, you know the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, A Punk with Toys, the Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a punk with toys or a punk with dinosaur toys. Dinosaurs that walk around and not like walking with dinosaurs, they with boots and they got, this is cool. I don't know. This screams 80s. Like, this screams like 80s vibe. I love how well that neck moves. Jaw opens up. Arr. I can't believe I just did that. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Before you leave, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time that I do drop a Saurozoic Warrior. But if you like this content, don't go anywhere. I'll drop the Gargoyles video right here. And this will be a playlist to the Gargoyles. Eventually I'll have a Saurozoic playlist. Don't yet.